We are back once again, guys, right here on the channel, and we're here to do my TLC predictions video. Now, I was going to do this on Saturday, but I chose to do that other video. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It was my top 15 wrestlers who I think should turn face and heel. Be sure to go check that video out. So we're here to talk about TLC. My apologies. My apologies. Yeah. So we're here to talk about the TLC pay-per-view. And by the looks of this card, there's 12 matches on the card, and none of these matches are pre-show yet. And I'm actually quite scared about that fact, that none of these matches have been considered for the pre-show. But either way, let's run down the card. We've got the Fabulous Truth, R-Truth and Carmella versus Mahalisha, Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. The mixed match finals. And the winner gets the number 30 entrant for their respective Royal Rumble matches. I mean, how freaking terrible is this? Like, how freaking terrible is this? I mean, like, I don't understand why the Mixed Match Challenge is supposed to be for charity, right? It's supposed to be for charity, right? Well, what the hell is it doing on a pay-per-view? This stuff should not be placed on a pay-per-view. Now, if this was for a future championship match, then maybe I wouldn't mind if this was winner gets a future championship match, because I think that seems more fair than taking number 30. I mean, seriously, that takes away the impact of who's gonna be at number 30 in the Royal Rumble, right? So we all know who's going to be number 30 in the respective Royal Rumbles. Because in case if you don't know, me and my family, whenever it's Royal Rumble time, me and my family, we always love to predict who's going to come out at number 1 and number 30. And who's going to win each match. And because number 30 is already going to be revealed, we already know, so there's really no point in saying who's going to be number 30. And 4 irrelevant wrestlers are taking up that place. If you're going to do shit like this, earn a spot in the Royal Rumble, if you're going to do shit like this, at least make it wrestlers who we actually think that is believable. I mean, seriously, look at all the times that the Mixed Match Challenge has changed their partners. Don't mind me if I go on a bit of a rant here, but I really am very disgusted about how many times partners have changed in this Mixed Match Challenge. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that they have changed their partners so many times. Because the original teams were as follows. It was originally going to be Strowman and Bliss. Bliss got hurt. She had to get subbed out for Ember Moon. It was meant to be Lashley and Banks. Banks disappeared, so then they switched it to James. And Natalia and Owens. Owens got hurt. Then they changed it for Bobby Roode. Then you had pretty much the SmackDown side only had one change. That was AJ Styles. I don't know what happened to AJ Styles. I'm guessing they believed that this tag team was too good and they wanted to break them up. Then why the hell did you even bother putting them together if you knew they were gonna win the whole thing? I mean, seriously, it's unbelievable. And also you had Apollo Crews. You also had Apollo Crews replace Finn Balor because of his injury. And that's the one thing I absolutely hate. I hate how they use the excuse of what's really happening. You know, I hate how they use the excuse, oh, they're injured, that's why they got replaced. I know the real reason why they would have gotten replaced. It's because Braun Strowman's in a feud with Baron Corbin, and Finn Balor's in a feud with Drew McIntyre, and AJ Styles is in a feud with Daniel Bryan. And it makes no sense for these wrestlers to be in the mixed match final if they're going to be competing at TLC. They were pretty much doing this whole thing on the fly. They had no direction in this mixed match challenge. I thought the first season was better. I'm not saying I watched the mixed match challenge, but I thought first season was somewhat better. This one's just a mess. And we've got 4 irrelevant wrestlers competing over number 30. How underwhelming is that? How underwhelming is that going to be when the number 30 number hits, and then you hear one of these 4 theme songs at number 30? So underwhelming. Apparently Vince McMahon is liking what Carmelo and R-Truth are doing. So, I kinda hope they win, but in the back of my mind, here's the funny thing about the Mixed Match Challenge. I made a bold prediction on Twitter. It was all the way back when the playoffs first started, when Ember Moon got Kurt Hawkins as her partner. I predicted that I would not be surprised if Vince McMahon actually gave this to Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. Now, I still think that could be a possibility, but I really want to hope R-Truth and Carmella win. So I'm going to take... Honestly, I don't care. So I'm going to say R-Truth and Carmella to beat Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. If anyone should not be number 30, in my opinion, I would probably prefer Alicia Fox starting at number 1 than number 30. But we'll see what happens. So I'm going to say the Fabulous Truth to win that one. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. This has been a very big letdown of a feud, man. I've really been let down by this feud, and this is the WWE's fault for one. And I'm partially blaming the fans. I'm not blaming it all on them. I'm blaming it mostly on Vince, but I'm blaming it mostly on the fans, because the fans have been begging Dean Ambrose to be a heel, and this is the result we get. This is the result we get when you ask Vince to do something. I mean, at this point, I would prefer Dean Ambrose still being a babyface right now. So, listen. I hate when the fans beg for what they want. And when they beg for what they want, it's not the result they get. So, please, if you're going to speak your mind, be careful. Because, look at Dean Ambrose. He's now walking around like he's Darth Vader from Star Wars with a mask on his face, with a jacket. He's not the same Dean Ambrose. He's the same Dean Ambrose, just as a heel. That's just my honest. That's how I see it, and this is the result we get. This is the result we get when you people beg Dean Ambrose to be a heel. Seth Rollins. I really hope Seth Rollins' time as Intercontinental Champion does run out, but Dean Ambrose has had all the momentum heading into this match. So I would not be surprised if Seth Rollins got the win here, because Dean Ambrose has had all momentum on Seth Rollins. So I'm going to say Seth Rollins to win. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin in a TLC match. I mean, I guarantee you this is going to be the one TLC match where they're just going to throw in pinfall and submissions, because a lot of people have been wondering what are they going to climb up the ladder and retrieve. I guarantee you the triple threat women's one is going to be them climbing up the ladder, but this one with Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin, this one will have pinfalls. I guarantee you this one will have pinfalls. Because what in the world would they climb up for? What in the world would they be climbing up the ladder to retrieve? Now, there's been reports going around that Braun Strowman may not make it. May not make TLC. So, and it could be Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt could be Bray Wyatt could be subbing in for Braun Strowman, and I think that's a good idea. At least that's a good idea to bring Bray Wyatt back, and imagine how of a loud of a reaction he's actually going to get if he does come back. He might be one of the most over baby faces at the time, but we all know it will eventually die down. Bray Wyatt, it's going to be very, very tricky to see what you could do with him when he comes back. Because I think at the moment, if he comes back and does this whole thing with Baron Corbin, obviously he may get into a program with Baron Corbin, and like a feud with Baron Corbin. I don't really think I'd be interested in that, but that's just the way I think they're gonna do it. And then they're gonna have Alexa Bliss, probably take over as full-time GM. But either way, I see Baron Corbin losing. I see Baron Corbin losing this. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm not a fan of this match. I don't care if you're a fan of Ronda Rousey or not. I completely hate Nia Jax. There's nothing about Nia Jax that's appealing. One of my friends only likes Nia Jax. And this is a true fact. He's gonna... And this is a true fact. Only one of my friends only likes Nia Jax because of one reason. She's in the Roman Reigns family tree. That's the reason why he's a big fan of Nia Jax. So you prefer cringe. So you're okay with cringe. Because I swear to freaking Christ, that's what Nia Jax is. Every time I hear her goddamn squeaky little voice, it sounds like I'm just listening to someone completely annoying the crap out of me. And Nia Jax is terrible. Nia Jax is terrible. She can't wrestle. She can't do a microphone very well. She has no improvements about her. The only improvements Nia has had is in her looks. Because when she first started in NXT, she had this weird looking hairdo, black lipstick, and all this other stuff. And that's the only thing that's different about Nia Jax, is her appearance. That's the only thing that's different about her. And she's basically the Big Show. She's basically the Big Show of the women's division. Face, heel, face, heel, face, heel, face, heel, face, heel. Like, seriously, like, you don't know what the hell to do with this woman. This damn roster, Monday Night Raw's roster, has 9 heels. This Raw's roster has 9 heels. And you're going to continuously turn people heel you're just going to continuously change new people heel just to verse Ronda? I mean, Jesus freaking Christ, you got 9 of them already. Why do you need to keep turning people heel just for Ronda? That's the one thing I'm really getting sick and tired of with Ronda Rousey. Everyone's turning heel just for the sake of Ronda Rousey. And if you actually do count Nikki Bella and Brie Bella to the Raw roster, that's 11 heels in total for Monday Night Raw. Against the 5 baby faces they have with Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ember Moon, Natalya, and Ronda Rousey. So if you count the Bella Twins, it's 11 heels versus 5 faces. Yeah, so you tell me who are the people... So you tell me what needs to be changed with Monday Night Raw. They need more damn faces. That's what needs to be done. I'm tired of everybody on Raw turning heel. It's getting ridiculous. That's the main issue I have with Raw. They've got way too many heels, and they keep and this company just for some reason loves heels. Now you know why the women's divisions is dead, because there's no competition. There's no competition for them to fight against. Ronda Rousey's gonna win this match. Ronda Rousey's gonna win this match. As much as I don't like her, she has to beat Nia. And I don't want this match anywhere near that main event spot. One match I believe could be the main event: Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. This match and the women's TLC match, these two matches should be at least the final two matches on the card. If any other match is close to the end, if Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, Nia Jax, and Ronda Rousey are close to the end of the show, then this company has no brains. Then this company is clearly favoring Raw. We all know that this company favors Raw more SmackDown, but this is SmackDown's pay-per-view. This is SmackDown's pay-per-view to have the final two matches. It's the final pay-per-view of the year. It's not like Monday Night Raw needs to have every pay-per-view. Fastlane was the last pay-per-view where SmackDown actually main evented, because that was their exclusive pay-per-view. And I gotta give my friend King Schmidt a very good point. I gotta give him a very good point here. Merging every pay-per-view into dual branded has been a mistake by WWE. It's been a huge mistake. It's been a huge failure. Because how, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev are currently feuding. Why isn't their match at TLC? Matches are going to get left off the card. This is why you need brand split. This is why you need brand exclusive pay-per-views. I liked the brand exclusive pay-per-views. It was much better that way. Why did they have to go ahead and change something that was so simple? You pick out certain pay-per-views and you use those as their exclusives. Why do we need to have both brands merged? It's supposed to be a competition. I'll always remember what Vince McMahon said in 2016 when he brought back the draft. When he told Shane and what he told Stephanie, that it has to be brand warfare, constantly battling each other over and over, brand supremacy. What happened to that? Now Shane's brand and Stephanie's brand are promoting pay-per-views. They're promoting each other's shows, or what's going to happen on SmackDown. Be sure to tune into Raw. You know, they're promoting each other. So what are they competing over? They're competing over nothing. And more importantly, these pay-per-views mean nothing because all the wrestlers are under the same roof. All the wrestlers are under the same roof. It's ridiculous to me. Anyway, AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. You know, this feud has probably had the most build. The most build out of all the matches on the card. And this is why I believe it should be the main event. Because it's had the most build. The new Daniel Bryan has been great. I've really been enjoying what Daniel Bryan's doing as a heel. Daniel Bryan is a great example of what Dean Ambrose should be. Dean Ambrose should have had a change of character. Dean Ambrose should have had, a change of look. What Daniel Bryan is doing is what Dean Ambrose should be doing. Just completely change. Change his personality, change his character. But Dean Ambrose has the same personality and he has the same character. So there's really nothing different to Dean Ambrose. He's just Dean Ambrose. But apparently, he just doesn't like being called a lunatic fringe. Where have I seen that before? I know I remember a diva in WWE that was considered crazy, and she hated being called crazy. I wonder where I've seen that reference before. But anyway, Daniel Bryan, I think he should win. He should beat AJ Styles. And this is where WWE is going to be, but WWE are going to be backed into a corner here. I don't think people realize this, that, again, this is why I made that video yesterday. This is why I made that top wrestlers who should turn face heel video. I don't think WWE realize that they have so many heels on their current roster. Who is Daniel Bryan going to feud with after AJ Styles? Who? If you look at the SmackDown roster, if you actually look at the SmackDown roster, who do you think is deserving of a WWE Championship match after AJ Styles? They've got nearly everybody on their roster are heels. Like, they've got... Because if you look at their roster, it's basically full of heels. The only person that I could see them doing is possibly Rey Mysterio. Like, the Bar heels, Big Show's a heel, Andrade's a heel, you know, Sanity's a heel, you got... Samoa Joe, he's a heel. Like nearly everybody on SmackDown are heels. So the only person outside of AJ Styles that could verse Daniel Bryan is Rey Mysterio. This is why WWE need to start turning more people face. They're not realizing it. They're not realizing that they won't know what they're going to do with Daniel Bryan once he beats AJ Styles. Unless WWE just give the belt back to AJ. Unless they realize this and they're going to give the belt back to AJ. Which I don't think that would really be a good business decision. Because, AJ's had his time with the WWE Championship now. I believe his time with WWE title is up. He had his 400 or 300, whatever so days it was. He had his title reign. I don't think it's fair if he wins back the championship after, losing it. So I think Daniel Bryan should win. And this is where WWE is going to have to start turning people face. That's why I said, why not turn an Andrade Cien Almas face? Or a Shinsuke Nakamura face? Just so that you can get more faces on the roster for Daniel Bryan to feud with. It's not that difficult. Unless they turn the Miz face, which... honestly, I don't want to see that. If there's anyone who they should not be turning face, it should be The Miz. The Miz is the one person who I don't want to see the word face next to. Because that guy's a natural heel. So, I think Daniel Bryan's going to win. And I think AJ Styles should go over to Monday Night Raw. Maybe just to compete over, the Universal Championship is a disgusting belt. I think the Intercontinental Championship will look great on AJ Styles. I know they need another top guy, but you can have Seth Rollins. You can have Seth Rollins as the Universal Champion. Then you can have AJ Styles go up, make the Intercontinental Championship a great championship. You can have AJ Styles take Seth Rollins' place as the workhorse for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good for AJ Styles. You can have him go over to Raw for maybe like a year. And then you can have him go over to Raw for like a year. And then in 2020, you can probably put him back on SmackDown. Because that brand is considered his home. So yeah, Daniel Bryan, I'm going to predict he's going to win. But a part of me tells me that maybe AJ Styles will probably win. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Asuka in a triple threat match for the Women's Championship. SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to tell you guys this. I don't want to come off sound like a prick. But I want to tell everyone right now. There's no way WWE is going to do Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. No way. Why am I saying this? Because, you know, the people may think they've got everything figured out, figured out when it comes to Becky. But I want to tell you guys this. This may be what you want. But do you think Vince McMahon is going to choose Becky over Charlotte? No. Absolutely not. You people would be like, well, yes, he should pick Becky over Charlotte. Yeah, I agree, he should, but I know he won't. So the people who are saying Becky will win the Royal Rumble, yeah, she may win the Royal Rumble, but they may not have her pick Ronda. They may have her pick Asuka. And then they have Charlotte go off dealing with Ronda. Or they have Charlotte win the Rumble and Becky stays champion. I just don't think, I don't see it happening. I just do not see Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey in Vince McMahon's mind. I just don't. I just don't see it happening. I don't think it will happen. I don't think it ever will happen. Maybe it will happen in the future when Marina Shafir and all them debut. The 4 Horsewomen. It will probably happen then. That will probably be where Becky Lynch gets to fight Ronda Rousey, when the whole 4 Horsewomen thing happens. But right now, I'm 100% certain they're going full on with Charlotte. They're going to go full on with Charlotte. No ifs, no buts. That's what they're going to do. I know many people don't want to see a second match, but it makes sense. It makes sense for these two to have another match. Their first match ended in a DQ. If Becky Lynch was in that role, you'd be saying the same thing. Oh, I want to see a second match between Becky and Ronda Rousey because there was no ending. Becky Lynch grabbed the kendo stick and she bashed the shit out of Ronda Rousey. You'd people be saying the exact same shit. But because it's Charlotte, you don't want to see a second match. So if Becky did it, you'd be saying, yeah, I want to see a second match. But when Charlotte does it, I don't want to see a second match. I want to see Becky do it. No. I'm sorry, guys. Charlotte's going to get Ronda. Not Becky. Sorry to break everyone's hearts. Becky Lynch is not going to get Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Sorry to break your hearts. That's just the way I see it. Should Asuka win the championship at TLC? Yes and no. Yes and no, because, well, for starters, Asuka stood tall at the end of SmackDown. We saw her stand tall against Charlotte and Becky. So, you know, I'm going to take a wild guess here. I'm actually going to predict Becky Lynch to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to predict her to retain the championship. I'll be shocked if Charlotte... I think a lot of people will be pissed off if they put it back on Charlotte. But I want to hope Asuka wins. But, you know, the main thing I heard is that I thought Vince McMahon didn't want to push Asuka because of her bad English. I mean, come on. Bad English? I mean, Jesus freaking Christ. I mean, Jesus freaking Christ, Vince. You even had the Great Khali as World Heavyweight Champion, and God's sakes, he was terrible with his English. You had no problem making him a World Champion. Jinder Mahal sucks at English, and you had him wear the WWE Championship. So you've had people with terrible English pushed. Don't give me this crap. Don't give me that crap, Vince. I think Asuka should win, but a part of me believes she's not going to. And I know a lot of people want to see Ronda Rousey interfere. Quite honestly, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Do I want to see it happen? Yes. I want to see Ronda Rousey get involved. But I just don't think that WWE are going to do that. I just don't think they're going to do that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. It really depends on where these matches end up. If Ronda's match is on before the TLC match, then yes, maybe Ronda will interfere. But if this match is on before the Ronda match, then Ronda won't interfere. That's what I'm gonna say there. So we don't know what WWE is gonna do. just for the sake of being different, I'm going to predict Becky to retain. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, I believe he's going to win that match. I'm going to predict he's going to win that one. No brainer. Elias versus Bobby Lashley in a ladder match at a guitar suspended above the ring. Why? Why is Elias's guitar going to be hung above the ring? I'm surprised they didn't call this a guitars match. That's what I'm more surprised. I'm more surprised that they weren't going to call this a guitars match, where there'll be guitars all over the place, and you can only use guitars as weapons. Seriously. This match is pointless. What? You're going to win by pinfall in a ladder match? If it was me making it, if it was me doing the stipulation for this, it'd be the first person that grabs the guitar and hits it with their opponent wins. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's how a ladder match. That's how this type of ladder match should end. You grab the guitar and you hit it, and you use it on your opponent. And if it hits the person, you win. That's how it should end. There's no reason for this match to be going all like, oh, Elias grabs the guitar, then he smashes it over Bobby Lashley, and the match continues. It has to end when whoever grabs the guitar hits the opponent. I say Elias should win this because he needs to get up the rankings. Bobby Lashley, he's just dead now. Bobby Lashley's dead. This heel character is somewhat doing okay for him, but in reality, it's not really going to get him any championships. The Bar versus the New Day versus the Usos. I am actually getting very, very sick and tired of seeing these teams all over the place, man. I mean, like, it's really getting ridiculous. I mean, why aren't you using Sanity? Why aren't you using Gallows and Anderson? I know the Colognes are garbage, but you got so much other great teams. You got Sanity. You got bloody Sanity. Sanity, they should be tag team champions. They should be tag team champions by now. What did you call up Sanity for? What was the point in calling up Sanity? And you did promo, and you did bloody vignettes for them. And you did all these vignettes for them too. Why do all these promo packages for someone if you're not going to do anything with them? It sickens me. They had Sanity have these promo packages where, I'm pretty sure people don't remember, but I remember promo packages for Sanity. And I thought, okay, maybe this team's going to get a push. But as soon as they arrived, they lost. As soon as they arrived, they were losing. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Why is Sanity not competing for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? Why isn't Gallows and Anderson competing for these belts? Harper and Rowan are both injured, so we know why the Bludgeon Brothers aren't there. SmackDown probably has one of the best tag team divisions of all time. Outside, minus the Colognes. They've probably got the best tag team roster outside of the Colognes because they're crap. They've got the best tag team roster for tag teams. And they're only using three of them. It's a disgrace, and it's a disgrace. One of these teams, New Day or the Usos, I think one of these teams should go to Monday Night Raw next year. I'd say it should be the Usos. I think the Usos should go to Raw next year. And I reckon the New Day are probably going to win. I reckon the New Day are probably going to win. I know it would sound stupid of me to pick the New Day because, they've had their time. They've had their time. The New Day are pretty much the tag team version of Charlotte. They're pretty much the tag team version of Charlotte. We may say they've had their time, but they're still going to have they're still going to be competing in championship matches. Like, it's the same thing with the New Day. How many matches have they had how many feuds have they been in? How many feuds have they been in? I mean feuds. I don't mean matches. I don't mean straight up matches. I mean how many feuds? Think about all the feuds that New Day have had. How many feuds have New Day had that do not involve tag team titles? I'm pretty sure every feud they have been in has had tag team titles next to them, even when they were heels, even when they were growing, when they were heels and they were growing to become the most popular tag team on the roster. I'm pretty sure they were competing for tag team titles then as well. So the New Day have pretty much been like a magnet to those tag team titles. Like Charlotte is a magnet to the bloody women's championships. Like you can't get them away. You can't get them away from it. So I'm picking New Day to win, just because of that reason. Because I just don't see them. I just think that WWE is just gonna, put the belts on them. Natalya versus Ruby Riott. Jesus Christ, this video's gone on for a long time. Jesus, 35 minutes into the video. Holy crap, nearly approaching 36 minutes. Sorry that this has gone on. Sorry, this video's gone on for a while. Natalya versus Ruby Riott in a tables match. I'm gonna pick Ruby Riott to win, because Ruby Riott needs this win more than Natalya, and Ruby Riott needs to break away from the Riott Squad, man. She really needs to get away from the Riott Squad. I'm sick of the Riott Squad. I can't believe this whole Riott Squad experiment has lasted longer than Absolution. I mean, it's crazy to think that. You can, if you still want to have the Riott Squad, fine. But you want to have the Riott Squad, just have Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan be the tag team. Just name them the Squad. Just take out the word Riot and just call them the Squad, and have the Riot of the Squad go off on her own. Like I said, you need more faces on the Raw roster. Build Ruby Riott up. Turn her into a likable face. I know it may not make sense for her to be a face after a feud with Natalya, but at least get more faces on the roster. Raw needs faces. Work on your faces before you... Work on your faces. Work on how many faces you need on that Raw roster, instead of focusing all your damn time in Ronda freaking Rousey. Focus on the other women. Ruby Riott should win this match. That's all I should say. And then she could just move on from the Riott Squad. That's what I want. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. This is Cedric Alexander's rematch for his loss at the Showdown. Buddy Murphy to win this match. That's no brainer to me. Buddy Murphy should win this match. And finally, guys, the last match that I'm going to do, the last match on the card, is Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match. I mean, seriously, what's the whole point of a chairs match? It's pretty much a no disqualification match. I don't know. WWE just like to come up with it's for marketing. Because it's called tables, ladders, and chairs. They need to be like, oh, we need to have a tables match, we need to have a ladder match, and we need to have a chairs match, and then we gotta have the whole package. Then we gotta have the whole package. TLC. Randy Orton should win this match. I reckon Randy Orton should win this chairs match. So there you go, guys. That's everything. That's everything for this predictions video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Comment your opinions down below and your predictions on who you think is going to win each match as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. And be sure to follow me on my social media on Twitter at pbalentine95. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for my TLC review. See you then.